Good morning. It is Sunday, August 1st, and actually it's just about noontime. So the stargazer lilies are opening up nicely. They are making a gorgeous show this year and smell wonderful. So yeah, despite all the rain we've had, the gardens are doing okay. We did have flash flooding on Thursday night, overnight. I had to do some repairs to the driveway. Both sides got ripped up. So I spent a good amount of time yesterday fixing that up, raking up the loose stuff and packing it back up there. There's another spot up at the top of the driveway too. But yesterday was wonderful. We were able to get the lawn mowed, do some trimming and such, and I had to redig these drain trenches out too, some more back there. But the hosta's doing wonderful, and our hydrangeas are doing great. This one over here has a few more in here. We got a lot of the different lilies are opening up. This is a new fountain, another solar fountain. It's been mostly cloudy today, and we have more rain coming tonight. Another flash flood watch. Maybe only half an inch of rain, but everything is just so full at this point that everybody's on pins and needles. We had a lot of roads wash out in the area. So the garden's doing good. So these are Lyatra, and we are eagerly anticipating these buds to open up and flower. That'll be nice getting some later season flowering in. Garden's doing okay. Celery's doing good. We already picked some, and tasted is absolutely wonderful. Plants look healthy. I think these are the biggest plants that we've had so far. We'll see if they start flowering and putting out fruit. Tomatoes are doing pretty good despite all the rain. We've been training them and trying to take off the suckers, but we do have some tomatoes starting here already. And this is squash down here, and it started off slow like everything else, but it's getting strong now, and I think it's going to start going gangbusters. This new plant here, which is like a vine hydrangea, it's doing good. It looks like it took well. It's got new growth on it. It's already starting to send some longer shoots up and through. So as long as it gets a good start at the beginning of the season, we'll be happy. Let's see what else. We got the peach tree, doing lots of peaches. As expected, they're not really big because I didn't trim or thin it out at all. So they're getting some color, but we're still a number of weeks away before those are going to be ready. This is a new addition. This is a nice big solar powered lighthouse. And I was watching last night. I was excited enough when I took the dogs out, and you actually see a good flash as it swivels around. But I was up in the middle of the night and I looked out the window, and you actually can see the beam going across the trees as it's sweeping. Really cool. The potatoes are getting toward the end of their growth here. Dee picked one out this morning, see how it's doing, and not really huge, but we do have potatoes. So we have more cabbage here. Brussels sprouts so far are growing really well. The lettuce, other than for nibbling, not that great this year. It just started bolting like crazy with this weather. I've been going around and picking off where it wants to start flowering, but it just keeps going faster than I can. Felly has his head stuck under the, this is a leek that was left over from last year, and it went to seed. So we'll have even more leeks in here again next year. The kale's looking good though. That'll make a nice salad, along with some of the other fancy greens. I didn't show on the other garden, but the snap peas were already done. We didn't have that many and didn't put that much up. The cabbage over here are a lot smaller than over there, so we're suspecting that maybe they like a little bit of shade during the day. Let's see, hazelnuts are coming along. Don't quite remember when those start getting brown and the husks start getting drier. Here's another solar fountain replacement here. The other one, the plastic, started discoloring quite a bit. And this wisteria vine, we keep bringing them up to train it onto the arbor. And of course, all of these beautiful lilies. We were really getting discouraged with all the rain. We were afraid we were going to lose them, or that, you know, because they would bloom and then the rainwater would just weigh them all down, so they were laying down quite a bit. But as you can see, there is still plenty left to open, and they are lasting a nice long time. And then this one here was a mystery. Dee said that she pulled it out last year because she didn't know what it was. She didn't remember planting it. But we're thinking it's like an Easter lily. So we're letting it go this year, and we are waiting to see what that's going to look like when it opens. Just great color here. What are you boys into? So yeah, over here is where I had to retrench just to lead some more water away from the doorway. I had put in drainage under there leading into a dry well back here, but we had so much water coming off the house, and then over the overhang I made to keep a lot of water and snow off the oil tank. It was just running across the walkway and it got under the door. So we actually had water in the house from that. So this vibranum here, pretty sure that's what it was when we planted it. We had chipping sparrows early in the season had made a small nest, and now there is a robin that has made another nest in here. I haven't actually seen any of the there she is right in the center. Any of the robins, we've had the nests around the she left the one up in the maple, and I never saw any babies fledging or anything. So I'm hoping that was successful and I just missed them. So here's the one patch of sunflowers. They're definitely a little smaller. I know they're a little thick in there, and we do have some beans growing too, climbing up. But we're thinking that maybe just a little too much sun over here with the way the it clears the trees up there, whereas these guys have some more shade, a little bit, just a little bit more, because the soil down here, there was all thick grass that was growing, so the soil was getting used. The only other thing is that we have a small gray water field out here, so maybe they're leaching a little more moisture in from there. But both areas got topsoil dressed with I call it donkey soil. It's the manure and the topsoil and the broken down shavings and stuff from up there. It's all really rich. We added to all the gardens. But we have a lot of beans in here too that are just loving climbing up the sunflowers. And we got some red runners, and I forget what the white purplish flowers are. They're another type of bean though. They're all heritage beans. Heirloom gentleman in town had given us those. But some of these are getting ready to put up flowers. There's a lot of different varieties. Dee had bought a whole bunch, so we're waiting to see what those look like. But definitely a good choice putting it over here, because they have the fence to climb behind, they have the sunflowers to climb, and now we're just waiting to see some of the blossoms turn into berries. What are you boys up to? This beach plum is just getting bigger every year. There's a couple more small branches down below that I want to trim, keep them up off the soil. And this back garden here, you can see some of the bigger lilies in the back are now starting to open up. And again, these hostas are just doing fantastic this year. And over here, Unfortunately, the corn, I mean, it's chugging along, but with all the cool weather and rain we've had, I really don't give it that much of a chance. We may see a little bit, or with it being down here, maybe the deer will get to it before we even notice, but and this hydrangea is finally flowering out, and we're going to have a lot of flowers this year. Quite a few. Back over here, the bee balm. We still have more coming up. I was asking Dee this morning, and there's still some more down below that are going to keep growing. But these early ones, they're still holding up. Saw a hummingbird up here this morning. Just a little bit of Sweet William left. And that's another variety of like a black-eyed Susan over here. At least the Sweet William has a lot of good seed heads on it. So that'll keep spreading. Love those stripes. There's some more of the Laetra. So we should have lots of that all around now. Unfortunately, the clematis is all spent from flowering. Save some more of those seeds and spread them. And Dee told me this morning that she actually has some dahlia in here, so we're waiting for that to flower. And speaking of flowers, we have a sunflower in Dee's little fairy garden here. Must have just been a squirrel or chipmunk that carried a seed over there. Those may be the last roses off of this shrub this year. I didn't see any more getting ready to start. Had to move the hummingbird feeder because the ants found it. This one did not get as big this year. Usually this whole plant is huge. Only had the small amount of flowers on it. Hi everybody. Y'all hanging inside? Okay. Carry on. Well, these little guys are doing good. This new area is really starting to do good after we cleared those trees out. So the plan is we're just going to keep spreading up in here. Just carry the gardens out there. This nasturtium, this has been the wildest year. These were not even a quarter of the size. They're just going like crazy. This other fountain. And these are little glowing plastic stones we found on Amazon. So they just charge in the sunlight or any light. And they're not super bright when they glow, but they definitely have a glow. Just some more neat stuff. Again, more nasturtium here. Look at that. Just thriving. So, you know, every year it's different. Some stuff loves the dry sun, and other stuff seems to like the cooler and wetter. And of course, last year with the drought, it was almost impossible to keep up with watering everything, because you just forget where you have things, and then you have to kind of pick and choose at some points if you have enough water to get to everything. So let's see, in this one we have this one over here. This one over here. So that's it, boys. Well, I guess the boys didn't really want to be in the video too much today, but that's about it. Just want to give you an update on the gardens and on the weather. Some sun, some clouds, and more rain as we head into August. I hope you're having a great weekend. Stay safe.